Ben McKee and Patrick Brown here on Tuesday of Kent State Week. Just got done speaking to tight ends coach Alec Ablin and defensive coordinator Tim Banks. We also spoke to several players that I'm not going to try to remember here off the top of my head.
If I remember, should I get the name?
Go ahead. Let's
Max
see.
Gilbert, Deshaun Bishop, Jacoby Thomas, Jermon McCoy.
That's why we pay him the big bucks. With Tim Banks, he is certainly pleased with his defense right now.
Yeah, he apparently, again, does not care about stats. He
No.
made that clear, but he likes how hard and physical they're playing. He again reiterated that they've wanted to play a lot of guys. That was the plan going into the season. They've certainly done that. Really at all three levels of the defense. We knew they would play a lot of guys on the defensive line. They've rotated in really 3 lines of 4, almost like hockey line shifts. They've played up to 5 linebackers. I mean, last week they didn't have Edwin Spillman or Caleb Perry, so they just plugged Jalen Smith in, and he made a couple plays. And rotating at star, rotating 2 or 3, 3 or 4 guys at corner, 3 guys at safety, and I think they've got a group of guys that has bought into this defense, and they're in the 4th year of the scheme, so guys know where they need to be. They know how they need to play, and they're just playing at a really high level with a lot of confidence and a lot of tenacity right now.
Yeah, and you can tell this defense, not only the coaching staff, but the players, they love this attacking mindset that Tim Banks has employed. Jacoby Thomas, you mentioned he spoke. He talked about and flat out said at Middle Tennessee State, I think I got to pressure the quarterback once from the safety position. We just didn't do it at MTSU. And here I'm kind of getting to play free, and it's a lot of fun for him.
I think it was him that used the word carnage when talking about that's what kind of the defense.
Great way to describe it too.
Yeah, I mean, when you 13 tackles for loss, 3 turnovers, that's a lot of carnage. And in the past, that's what Tennessee's tried to be, and that's what they maybe had to be early on in this sort of rebuild that Tim Banks and the staff is overseeing, because they couldn't stop people as well. Now they're just stopping people because they're able to generate those negative plays and then get off the field on 3rd down, at least through 2 games. So they're turning, when you're able to do those things, it energizes you as a team. Tennessee's playing complementary football too, where the offense now is maybe better equipped to go take advantage of those turnovers and things like that. So they're doing a lot of things right now on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, and with Alec Ablin, there's been a lot of talk this week about how versatile the tight end room is, how big of a weapon they are in this offense. Yesterday, there's a lot of talk about how the misconception about the air raid and Josh Heupel's.
Who asked that question?
Yeah, who asked that question? Or at least if you're going to share that question, at least tweet out the entire question when you do tweet it out. But speaking of Josh Heupel's offense, my point that I'm getting to is that I don't think a lot of people realize how important the tight end position is to this offense because of how much they ask those guys to do. And they've got 3 guys right now that they're confident in that can really help this offense in so many different ways.
Yeah, I mean, and they're doing it with 2 transfers that got here in January. They're coming from other programs, and Miles Kitzelman and Holden Stays. They're doing it with the redshirt freshman Ethan Davis, who was virtually a wide receiver in high school and mainly a basketball player. He didn't play his senior year, and so he's really sort of in his first season as a full-time tight end. Obviously, he played last season, but I think he only played in a couple games. So, and watching them the other night, watching it back, they looked like they'd been in the system for years. I mean, they were so comfortable, knew what they were doing, that they have a lot of versatility within their roles, but they're executing at a high level. And Ablin credited those guys for just how intentional they were and how hard they worked. And he said that the way they were able to pick up the offense so quickly helped them sort of expand and maybe add some of the 12 personnel with the 2 tight end sets that we've seen. And he said that was something that maybe was a secret outside the building. It clearly was from NC State. That's what Dave Doran said after the game. It was something a lot of us saw as something that Tennessee's not done, but Ablin said it wasn't really a secret in the building, and it gives them a lot of flexibility and things they can do on offense when they're in that formation.
Yeah, lastly, with Deshaun Bishop, 2 things stood out to me when talking to him. You asked him about running down the NC State player who came up with that interception on the pick 6 and nearly caught him. And I loved his quote about, around here we make you work for what you get, and that's all he wanted to do. And then I know Tennessee fans love to hear that he thinks that Tennessee has the best running back room in the country. Dylan Sampson, nobody in the SEC through 2 weeks has more rushing yards than him. A lot of talk about him this offseason, but Cam Seldon was obviously out this past Saturday. But again, it's been a storyline these first couple of weeks of the season, but Tennessee feels really good about its running back room. And I think the running backs themselves, to Deshaun's point, and it's clear in listening to him talk, have a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, I think they're following Dylan's lead a little bit. He's when your top guy is using this offseason to put on extra weight so he can be durable and be the guy that gets 20 carries a game, that sort of is infectious in the rest of the room. And that's not to say the other guys aren't hardworking, because they are. I mean, Bishop's had to work for everything he's had to get as as a walk-on coming in from Carnes, and obviously Cam Seldon's coming in from not being a running back, so he's had to work hard too, and work his way back from the shoulder surgery in the spring. So this is a hardworking group. Bishop said that Darrell Sims pushes them really hard, and you're starting to see the fruits of that labor. This running game has been really good. The first couple of games they've been physical up front. Those running backs have done a good job running patiently, waiting for the blockers and blocks to develop, finding the openings, and finishing runs really well.
Yep, it'll be Tennessee, number 7 Tennessee, a top 10 Tennessee football team versus Kent State, the Fighting Nick Sabans. Although I don't think Nick Saban's walking through those doors anytime soon. This Saturday night.
Well, he's not doing anything else.
They need him to walk through those doors ASAP, quick, fast, and in a hurry. It'll be Tennessee and Kent State Saturday night in Neyland Stadium, 7:45 p.m. Eastern on the SEC Network. Tennessee's last tune-up before conference play. We'll have plenty of coverage of it all at GoVols247.com. He's Patrick Brown. I'm Ben McKee.